Yo, it's your boy Nasser Pat, Nasser Pat 24/7 on IG. So I was about to come on here and talk to you guys about, uh, Phil Knight's book, Shoe Dog, and then Andrew Schultz's book. It's his memoir of how he like took over Starbucks and grew it. But I know y'all don't read and y'all don't care about books, so I had a better idea, and I wanted to just talk to y'all about one of the worst investments I've ever made. I know I talked to you guys about my house in Detroit that makes $0 but another bad investment that I have made was my bust down Rolly. So at the time, I think I bought this watch maybe in, I want to say 2018. At the time, 2017, 2018, you could get like a two-tone Rolex for like $3,500 used. You can get like a plain Jane silver Rolex for like $2,000. I know now for that same two-tone $3,400 watch that was in 2018, today it's about $5,000. So if I would have just bought a plain Jane watch in 2018 and just saved it to 2026, my watch probably would have increased by like 30% or 40% because it would have been a $3,500 watch turning to 5,000. Why this watch? It's a bust down Rolex flooded with diamonds. Why was this a bad investment? Because I believe I paid about, mind you, a two-tone Rolex at the time was 3,500. I think I paid about 6,500 for this watch. I might have paid 7,500, but let's just say 6,500 because I think that the band of diamonds was around 4,000, and I think the watch by itself was like 2,500. But don't quote me on that. But I spent 6,500 on the watch. I just went to a jeweler to actually put in some of the diamonds that fell out, and I asked him to like estimate how much he thought this watch was worth, and he said 5,500. And I was kind of tight because I'm like, damn, I think I paid like 7,500 for the watch, so I lost $2,000 buying this watch. And hopefully it was 6,500, and I only lost $1,000 buying this watch. But one of the things that I was thinking about as he was telling me, like basically my watch is worth like around 5,500, was that I had two-tone Rolexes. I had one, I had a Tiffany two-tone, like I had a Tiffany Rolex collab. I sold it to my homie for around like 3,000 at the time. And I'm sick right now because if I would have kept that watch at 3,000 bare minimum, it would have cost 5,000. So instead of me losing 1,000 or 2,000 on this watch, my two-tone Rolex that was 3,500 would have probably been 5,500 or 5,000. So I would have gained $1,500 keeping that watch. And I had a second watch that I don't know, I was being retarded. I lost it, and I'm super sick about that because now when I do the math, both those watches was around like 3,000 each, $2,800. So I spent $5,600 probably on both those watches. If I kept them till today, that was in 2018. So if I would have waited 8 years, so both those watches would have been 10,000. So 5,500 into 10,000 versus my 65 or $7,500 watch becoming 5,500. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. If I could go back, obviously, if I not obviously, but like if I could have went back, I definitely would have never bust down my watch. Like it just makes no sense because at the end of the day, it's like it does bring eyes. Like I, always wanted to bust down Rolly. That was like, during the time a big thing to do. But fads, fashions, things go out of style. Like even like right now, how Jordan and Air Max is making a crazy comeback. And I know some people are like, oh, Jordan's always been in style, Air Max has always been in style. But that's not the case. Like everything is a fad, everything is marketing. So right now, there's a hype around a certain object. In a few years, that hype might not be there, or the hype might go down, and then you're tight. I'm sure with my watch, like right now, it's worth 5,500. I don't know if bust down watches are that popular anymore. Like I know a lot of people wearing like moissanite, and a lot of people are just wearing fake diamonds. And like now I've been seeing like the APs on Instagram for 2,500 and Cartiers for 2,500. So maybe that's the vibe now, like the fake watch moissanite trend. I'm not really sure, but like that's a super waste of money. Because if my watch with real diamonds I paid 7,500 is worth 5,500, I can only imagine what a $2,500 moissanite watch is if you try to resell it. It's probably worth like a couple $100. So I 1,000% wouldn't buy a moissanite bust down watch unless you really don't care, unless it's really just for the fad. But you know what? I take that back because if I think about it right now, I paid I think $7,500 for my watch. Might have been 65, but it's only worth 5,500, so I lost 2,000. So it might actually be smarter to buy a moissanite bust down watch for two bands and just keep it forever because right now we know a AP is like 40 bands, a Patek is like 65 bands, and a Rolly is like 5 bands. If you want a straight sterling silver one, you probably get one for like 3 bands, 3,500. But I mean, I guess the moissanite watch is where it's at. But let me know if you paying with the moissanite. I don't because I think it's embarrassing, and I think anything you buy should have like some type of resale value for you to sell, especially if you're gonna spend thousands of dollars. Like if you're gonna spend like 50 bucks, $100, and it's not worth nothing, cool. But once you start spending bands on an object and you can't sell it and get your bands back, or ideally when you buy this product is worth more in the future, that's super ideal. But buying things that depreciate, buying things that you know in the future is going to be worth less money is kind of silly. I mean, I guess you can say that about a car, but at least with a car, you do get to like use it as far as like go places and do stuff with it. But very similar to a watch where whatever you pay for a car today, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now, it'll be a fraction. So for instance, I bought a 2016 Mercedes S550. It had, I think, like 40,000 miles, and I bought it in 2019. I had it for, it's 2026, so 6+ years. Carvana is sending me messages that my car's worth $10,000. I spent $50,000. I didn't spend $50,000 on it. I had a car loan, so I spent like $850 a month. But I probably spent over $50,000 because it was $50,000 plus insurance. I mean, not insurance, but yeah, insurance, maintenance, interest. So probably into $65,000, $70,000 when you think about everything. Now, if I sell my car, Carvana wants to give me 10 minutes. So be mindful on where you spend your money and where you put your money. This is NASA Pat, over and out. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. NASA Pat 24/7 on IG.